Hi there, hope you're having a terrific day. In today's video, we're going to be talking about your environment and how it affects you. Does it drive you crazy when your room is messy and you just don't know why? Or have you been trying to tell your kids, clean your room, and they say, what does it bother you? I'm living in the space, not you. And you're like, oh, I wish I had some statistics and some great studies to explain to them why it's important. Well, I have all of that for you. We're going to be talking about the link, the correlation between your environment and you, and what your messy room says about you. Hi there, and welcome to the Booksters Club, where we find daily inspiration from the books you love. Today's featured book is How to Be Organized in Spite of Yourself by Schlenger and Roberta Roesch. And today's inspirational thought comes to us on page number 177. It says, frequently, total slobs had parents who were total slobs before them, so they had no other role models from whom to learn. They simply accepted disorganization as a natural way of life. On the other hand, some total slobs never had a chance to learn how to organize because they had mothers or fathers who did everything for them. Through their childhood and teen years, their mothers made their beds, cleaned their rooms, and cared for and sorted out their belongings. Thus, these youngsters had no experience in taking care of things, managing possessions, and making decisions about their possessions. As a result, they grew up expecting that someone would always take care of whatever they didn't do, and they seldom think about what needs to be done unless they have a forceful partner or coworker. There can be many reasons why we hold on to stuff or we don't keep a very organized space, and clutter tends to happen, but it does affect our mental well-being and even our physical well-being at times. In fact, Libby Sanders said that my own research shows our physical environment significantly influence our cognition, emotions, and subsequent behaviors, including our relationships with others. And in fact, there are many different severities of clutter and extreme disorganization, even like hoarding, but there are actually 4 different types of clutter that she categorizes, and I'll go through them with you now. Number 1, technical clutter. This is actually just space restriction. This is when you live in a tiny little apartment or the space that you're living in is very small and you have more belongings than you do space to put them in. Number 2, life clutter. This could be a new baby, a death in the family, or anything like a move that has thrown your life out of balance. Number 3, time and life management clutter. This is actually clutter that is caused by poor management of your time. So you're putting things into your house and you're making it unorganized, but then you don't have the time to actually go in and declutter and then organize it. Number 4, this is behavioral and psychological clutter. Clutter caused by depression, attention deficit disorder, low self-esteem, and a lack of personal boundaries. In fact, Elizabeth Robinson said that there might also be another reason, which she says is an obsessive disorder in which the person is immobilized in terms of action. I think there is a great fear of making the wrong decision that could be wrong. So even being afraid of making the wrong decision by throwing something out can cause someone to create clutter. So not only does our internal mental and emotional imbalances start to show up physically around us, but what's going on physically around us in our environment can actually start to affect our emotions and our cognitive abilities. In fact, Libby Sanders also said that our brains like order, and constant visual reminders of disorganization drain our cognitive resources, reducing our ability to focus. And if you are in a relationship and you are finding that you are struggling with like a lot of fighting and there's a lot of disharmony in your family, well, cleaning up could actually help that. There was a US study in 2016 where participants were actually less likely to be able to perceive and understand the emotional expressions of characters in a movie because they purposefully put background clutter and it messed with their ability to perceive those emotions. So if you are having issues in your relationship, in your family, in your home life right now, where there seems to be a lot of tension in not being able to feel like that person is understanding where you're coming from, or they're not picking up on your clues, or vice versa, clean up a little bit. That could help. Also, there's been multiple studies that have found a link between clutter and poor eating choices. In fact, in extreme clutter situations, there is a 77% chance of a person being overweight. Of course, keeping a clean and tidy, uncluttered space is something that we all strive to do. But if you're watching this video and thinking like, all right, my environment is really clean and it's super organized, I have another statistic for you. Did you know that another study showed that keeping a messy desk helps you to become more creative, and that if your environment is too organized, it can actually create models where you are conforming even more and you're less likely to go outside of the norm and think in new and different ways. So the key here is for balance. And if you do have a messy situation and clutter, take a look at that. Pay attention to what your environment is trying to tell you, both in the too organized and in the very unorganized and cluttered way, and recognize that our environments and ourselves are closely tied together and they're a reflection of each other. If any of these things were eye-opening, and if you fell into any one of those 4 types of clutter, I hope that shed some light on, what it is exactly and how to get out of that. And if you had a different take on this part of the book, a different part in this book, or a different book entirely that you think should be featured here on the Booksters Club, I would love to hear about that as well in the comments. Thank you for clicking that like button if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell if you're new, because I post new videos just like this every single day. See you tomorrow, Booksters. Schlenger, I'm not going to be able to say this. And Roberta, Roesch, They declutter and, okay. Oof, okay. Can I memorize this? I don't know. Logical clutter. This is clutter. That it can be an obsessive disorder. An obsessive disorder. I said it too. I messed it up. This is clutter that this clutter is caused by. Number 4. Okay. Was that good? I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out when you edit. It's fine. It's fine. We got lots of stuff to go over, so it'll be just fine. Create models of conformity and behavioral problems, disorders, issues, problems, issues. What is the right word for that? Imbalances.